Sports. It's in the game.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, dog pound surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, and it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Arizona Cardinals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and for both of these teams that we're going to see, Charles, the future is kind of right now. You know, this is something you only see a handful of times in an NFL season where you've got a rookie quarterback versus a rookie quarterback.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the era we're in now. Because our dads, they didn't see rookie quarterbacks go against each other. In fact, it could be 2-3 years before they even saw the playing field. Nowadays, you get drafted, they expect you to play earlier, and these guys as competitors, they'll take their lumps early, but they'd rather be on the field.
Here we go from Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray. Bust through the tackle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And let's look now at the offensive starters for the Cardinals.
I could go on and on about Larry Fitzgerald and his numbers, which are considerable, and everyone knows that. But the thing I keep coming back to, he never quits seeking knowledge. Every year, he works with former NFL players who were great wide receivers in order to improve his game, watches a ton of film, always curious, always finding a way to adapt and improve his game.
To throw is Murray. And he's got Fitzgerald. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Bud Dupree came out of the University of Kentucky determined to let everyone know that they play football there as well as basketball. A terrific pass rusher off the edge.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Go, go, go.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be let out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, We're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
The first carry down for Benny Snell. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field. Let's go.
Trying to run for it with Snell. And a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll go with Snell here on first down. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll run with the NC State man. It's Jalen Samuels. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll set up to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep. That is caught. It's Juju for the Steeler touchdown. The 3-yard touchdown pass as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona, they're getting the ball back here, CD, but I want to talk about 2019 for them because I think really their season, if you had to give it one word, it might be meh. I mean,
I would disagree.
Well, to quote a former Cardinals coach, they were who we thought they were, right?
I thought they were better.
Did you?
Yeah, this is where you and I differ a little bit on it. I totally get it. When you look at the record of 5-10-1, yeah, I mean, there's not a lot there. I thought this team might win 3 games all year. So maybe I'm looking at it strictly with my perspective. But remember, they drafted Kyler Murray, and he was terrific. He might very well be the rookie of the year on the offensive side of the ball in the NFL. He did a nice job for them. On the defensive side, Chandler Jones is an all-pro, sacking quarterbacks and then taking down running backs. I think there's something to build on with this team, even though they're in a really difficult division because the Rams went to the Super Bowl last season, didn't make the playoffs this year. San Francisco and Seattle ran away with the division. But this Arizona team, more weapons around Kyler Murray. Let's see how it turns out in 2020. I thought they were a little bit better than expected.
And CD, maybe they found something in Kenyon Drake. They pick him up in, weeks 15 and 16, 137, 166 yards, 6 touchdowns between those 2 games. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, but now it'll be 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray with a 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's Andy Lee now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Next drive coming up for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not sure what was going on this past season in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania, but you think about the Eagles and these Steelers and the injury bug that bit both of them, it's really hard to fathom. If it's germane to the Steelers, though, the dreadful start really began with the injury to Ben Roethlisberger, lost for the year after 2 weeks, and things, although they obviously picked things up later in the year, Charles, started to go south right there.
I think their head coach, Mike Tomlin, not going to win head coach of the year, but to me deserves great consideration because 1-4 start, then they won 8 out of 10, and no Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. In fact, they went through, as we would count it, essentially 4 quarterbacks this year when you count Joshua Dobbs in the preseason before he was traded to Jacksonville. You end up with an undrafted rookie, Devlin Hodges out of Sanford, the Duck guy, Duck Dynasty himself. But this team, 30th in total offense. They've got a lot of work to do next year, but if they get Roethlisberger back, get a healthy James Conner back, they'll be right back in the hunt for the AFC North title.
So even though Pittsburgh's had a lot of great playoff years under Mike Tomlin, you think maybe this was his most impressive coaching job?
To me, this team could have collapsed and just gone totally south with the 1-4 start and all the injuries that we were noting. They didn't do that. They continued to press and were actually in the hunt, in the thick of the playoff race until a loss to Buffalo at home. I believe it was on a Sunday or a Monday night, and that pretty much knocked them out of it.
And remember, they lost their first-round pick. They gave that away in the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, which some people questioned at the time. Turned out okay for him this year.
Turned out better than okay, and while they didn't make the playoffs, Minkah Fitzpatrick became an all-pro player. Finding his role in Pittsburgh, he'll be able to be at that level for many years to come for the Steelers.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The sack by Terrell Suggs. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. After the sack on Fisher again, and down he goes again. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for Arizona. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here's Switzer. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. 2nd and 10. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Hassan Reddick able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. The results for them so far, not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
On 2nd down and 4. Murray, it's complete. It's Fitzgerald. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. A final shot before half from Murray. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Joe Hayden, the veteran, with a pick. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Samuels. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st down, Snell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now Snell. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. That was the corner, Robert Alford, with a sack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Here's tight end Clay, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Murray. He'll buy some time right. He may try and run for this. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, but it'll be second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Out of the pistol, here's Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Devin Bush with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Andy Lee now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Switzer on the return. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete. James Washington was the intended target. 3rd down here. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
He'll look to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be called just a 22-yard punt. Certainly not what he wanted. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On 2nd and 15 now. Murray, screen play, Johnson. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bud Dupree in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah. He needs better protection, that's for sure. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. They're going for it. It's Murray. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On third down, here's Samuels. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. A run for Snell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They're going to look to throw. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. From 3 yards out. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. He's got it, and it's 17-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. To throw is Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got his man, it's Butler. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do any.
Pressure attacking off the edge that time. Another try after the first down sack. Murray. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And that is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on 4th down. Murray and company going for it on 4th. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Boswell for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Looking to throw again on second down. Murray. Under pressure, and down he goes. The Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way.